Okay, beautiful soul, lean in close. Let's talk about the ache you carry, that specific brand of soul-deep yearning wrapped in confusion, sprinkled with spiritual jargon, and simmering on a low boil of, is this really my destiny? You've devoured the blogs, maybe even shed tears over the YouTube videos, promising reunion, cosmic purpose, a love so fierce it shatters you only to rebuild you anew. You feel the pull, the intensity, the maddening push-pull that feels like divine orchestration, or maybe just profound emotional whiplash disguised as sacred choreography. But what if the very agony you're romanticizing as proof of a twin flame bond is actually your soul screaming the opposite? What if the universe isn't testing you through this connection, but desperately trying to wake you up from it? Think about that for a heartbeat. Let it land. It's a startling question, isn't it? Like cold water on a dream. We're so conditioned, especially in the swirling vortex of twin flame lore, to equate suffering with significance. They say the deeper the pain, the higher the purpose. This chaos is just your mirrors colliding. But darling, let's get radically honest for a moment. The way you might with a trusted friend over a late night cup of tea when the masks finally slip. What if that constant state of turmoil, that exhausting dance of longing and frustration, that feeling of pouring your life force into a connection that perpetually feels just out of reach, isn't the hallmark of a divine counterpart, but the glaring neon sign pointing to a profound misalignment? What if your spirit isn't being forged in sacred fire, but slowly suffocated in the thick smoke of a bond that fundamentally cannot and will not nourish the magnificent being you are becoming? This isn't about dismissing the very real, often shattering experiences you've had. Your feelings are valid compasses, even when they point towards rocky shores. But perhaps it's time to learn a new dialect, the ancient, unshakable language of your nervous system. Forget the spiritual bypassing for a second. Forget the romanticized narratives of destined torment. Your body, that wise, earthy vessel you inhabit, speaks a truth far older and less easily fooled than your hopeful heart. It speaks in the sigh of relief you try to ignore when they finally leave the room. It speaks in the sudden lightness in your chest on a Tuesday morning when their energy isn't crowding your space. It speaks in the deep, unclenched breath you take when you realize you haven't spent hours dissecting their cryptic text. That peace, that subtle sense of coming home to yourself when the gravitational pull of the connection weakens. That's not you being a fearful runner avoiding your destiny. That's your most primal self, your cellular intelligence, whispering the most liberating heresy of all. This bond is draining your life force, not amplifying it. Your exhaustion isn't a badge of spiritual honor. It's the friction of trying to force a river to flow uphill against the natural gravity of your own well-being. True twin flames don't leave you perpetually depleted. They challenge you from a foundation of mutual resonance, like two ancient sequoias whose roots intertwine for strength deep in the nourishing earth, each reaching independently, powerfully, towards the same vast sky. Anything less? That's not your sacred mirror. It's a distortion field clouding the reflection of your own inherent, unassailable wholeness. The journey isn't about finding the missing piece. It's about realizing you were never broken. And that realization, that's where your true power, and perhaps the love you actually crave begins. Ready to discover what lies beyond the ache? Let's talk about that ache, that persistent hum beneath the surface of your sacred connection. You're pouring your heart into understanding the triggers, the patterns, the why behind the push-pull. You're journaling at dawn, meditating through tears, devouring spiritual texts like they hold the secret code to unlock their awakening. You're doing the work, the deep, gritty, uncomfortable inner work. You're facing your shadows, owning your projections, scrubbing your karma raw. And what's happening over there in their corner of this divine dance you've signed up for? Maybe crickets? Or worse, a polite or not so polite dismissal wrapped in spiritual bypassing. This is just my journey, babe. My lessons. My divine timing. You need to be more patient, more unconditional. Ah, the growth paradox. It hits like a cosmic joke, doesn't it? Here you are, hauling bricks for a cathedral you're convinced you're building together, fueled by the potent cocktail of twin flame mythology and your own profound desire for a love that transforms. But glance over your shoulder. Is your supposed mirror soul actually laying bricks? Or are they lounging comfortably on the foundation you poured, admiring the sunset of their own comfort zone, occasionally offering vague spiritual platitudes about trusting the universe while you sweat under the weight of both your evolutions? It's not just unequal effort, darling soul. It's a fundamental violation of the twin flame blueprint. Think about it. A true mirror doesn't just show you your reflection. It inherently demands a response. You can't stand before a clear mirror and remain unchanged by what you see. It's an active, dynamic relationship. Now, imagine a mirror that only works one way. You see yourself with brutal, growth-inducing clarity, but the other side? Smudged, obscured, oblivious. That's the paradox screaming at you. If this connection is truly designed to shatter illusions and forge mutual ascension, why is the shattering and forging only happening on your side of the glass? You rationalize it, don't you? Oh, he's just my catalyst. My purpose is to hold space while he heals his deep father wounds. Or, her resistance is just a mirror for my own fear of abandonment. I need to love harder, be more enlightened. Beautiful soul, let me tell you something with the fierce tenderness of someone who's hauled those same heavy bricks. That's not enlightenment, that's spiritualized codependency. You've taken the sacred concept of the twin flame journey and twisted it into a gilded cage where your boundless capacity for love and growth becomes the very fuel for their comfortable stagnation. You're watering a garden where only your plants are expected to grow, while theirs remain perpetually dormant, shrouded in the convenient fog of karma or divine timing. It's exhausting, and your body knows it before your mind will admit it. That bone-deep weariness, that subtle resentment masquerading as saintly patience. That's not the sacred fire of transformation. That's your soul screaming, "This bucket has a hole in the bottom, and you're running yourself ragged trying to fill it." Remember, Rumi, your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. Powerful, right? But here's the kicker the growth paradox exposes. If your primary barrier in this connection is their unwillingness to look at their own barriers, then the connection itself has become the barrier. you're trying to dismantle your walls while simultaneously propping up theirs. It's an architect trying to build a palace while the other occupant insists on living in a crumbling shack on the same foundation. The palace can't rise, the energy leaks, the whole structure is unstable. True twin flames work on the same building project, even if they're hammering different walls at different times. There's a shared blueprint, a shared urgency, a shared responsibility for the structure's integrity. What you're describing, that's spiritual labor exploitation. Your sweat feeds their stasis. Your light illuminates their refusal to see. And the universe, in its infinite, often inconvenient wisdom, doesn't reward martyrdom disguised as devotion. It rewards alignment. It rewards authentic flow. Think of two rivers destined to merge into a mighty ocean. If one river flows powerfully, carving canyons, nourishing life, while the other is a sluggish, silted trickle, refusing its own current, they might eventually meet, but the merging will be awkward, stagnant, lacking the dynamic power of two strong currents converging. The ocean they create together will be shallow, brackish. Is that the vast, transformative love you signed up for? Or are you secretly, desperately hoping that your Herculean efforts will somehow make their river flow? Honey, you can't dig the channel for them. They have to find their own current, their own desire for the sea. Otherwise, you're just drowning yourself in mud, trying to redirect a stream that wants to stay put. So here's the uncomfortable, liberating truth the growth paradox reveals. A true twin flame connection doesn't demand you abandon yourself on the altar of their potential growth. It doesn't ask you to become a perpetual spiritual Sherpa for someone who refuses to climb. The mirror reflects both ways. The evolution is mutual. The fire burns together, refining you both. If you find yourself doing double the labor for half the growth, mistaking exhaustion for sacred purpose, carrying the entire emotional and spiritual weight of the bond, take a deep breath. That ache isn't your twin flame calling. It's your own magnificent soul, bruised but wise, telling you the cathedral you're killing yourself to build might be on the wrong land with the wrong co-architect. Your peace isn't the enemy of destiny. It's the compass. And you know what happens when you finally put down those bricks meant for someone else's foundation? Suddenly, your own hands are free to tend the garden of your becoming, free to build the sanctuary your spirit truly craves, free to finally recognize the kind of partnership that doesn't require you to bleed for its existence. But that's a revelation for another part of this journey. Ready to discover what that feels like? All right, beautiful soul, let's get radically honest about that space between. The silence after the storm of connection, the quiet after the frantic texts, or the heavy, unresolved energy finally lifts. You've been told, haven't you? The twin flame narrative drums it into us. Separation is agony. It's supposed to feel like a phantom limb, a constant gnawing ache, a void so profound it threatens to swallow you whole. It's the dark night of the soul, the crucible where you're forged. And maybe part of you has felt that. Maybe you've wept oceans, paced floors, felt your heart physically constrict at the thought of them being gone. But then there are those moments, sneaky little moments, like when you wake up on a Tuesday morning, stretch, and realize the knot in your stomach that's been your constant companion for months, it's gone, just dissolved. Or you find yourself humming while making coffee, actually tasting the bitterness and the sweetness, feeling the warm mug in your hands like it's the first time. Or you breathe in deeply all the way down, and your lungs fill without that familiar, invisible weight pressing down. Your shoulders drop without permission, without effort, and a treacherous, quiet thought whispers, "Oh, it's peaceful here." Welcome to the separation relief test, darling. The most scandalously overlooked, profoundly biological, and utterly honest sign your soul has been trying to deliver. Forget the romanticized torment for a second. Let's talk about your nervous system, that ancient, wise, nonverbal part of you that predates spiritual concepts and twin flame blogs. It speaks in vibrations, in hormones, in the primal language of safety and threat. And if your body, when physically separated from this divine counterpart, consistently registers less threat, more ease, deeper breaths, your nervous system is screaming the truth your heart might be afraid to hear. This bond was draining your life force, not amplifying it. Think of it like this. Imagine your entire being is a finely tuned instrument designed to resonate at a specific sacred frequency, your soul's true note. A true twin flame? They don't drown out your note, they harmonize with it. Their presence creates a richer, more complex, more powerful symphony. Even in the dissonance of separation, the necessary space for individual tuning, the memory of that harmony, the pull towards it, creates a specific kind of longing. It's a soul deep yearning, intertwined with an undeniable sense of personal expansion. You miss the symphony desperately, but practicing your own scales suddenly feels vital, electric, purposeful. You feel the absence keenly, yes, but you also feel alive within it. Now contrast that with the experience of profound relief, that sigh your body makes when they walk out the door. That's not the ache of missing a harmony. That's the sound of escaping a persistent, grating noise you didn't consciously realize was drowning out your own song. The separation isn't revealing a soul-deep connection. It's revealing how disconnected you actually felt when you were together. You weren't harmonizing. You were constantly adjusting your pitch to accommodate their static. We spiritualize pain so easily, don't we? We call it sacred suffering, karmic cleansing, the price of a divine love. And sometimes growth is uncomfortable. Awakening can feel like breaking. But here's the critical nuance the relief test exposes. The pain of a true twin flame separation is generative. It fuels creation, self-discovery, a fierce inner fire. It hurts like hell, but it moves. It propels. It has direction. The pain you feel in a false connection during separation, often it's not soul-deep longing at all. It's the frantic flutter of attachment trauma, the old familiar terror of abandonment rising like a specter. Or it's the dull throb of cognitive dissonance, mourning the beautiful fantasy you projected onto them, the future you meticulously built in your mind, not the actual flawed human who couldn't meet you there. You're grieving the idea, not the reality. And beneath that grief, when you scrape away the layers of conditioned fear and misplaced hope, there's that quiet, persistent hum of peace. Your cells exhaling, your spirit unclenching, your authentic frequency slowly, tentatively, finding its way back to the surface. It's like walking out of a loud, crowded, slightly suffocating party where you spent all night trying to be heard and understood, finally stepping into the cool, silent night air. That first deep breath, that's relief. That's your system returning to baseline. That's you re-inhabiting your own skin. Now, imagine being told that the party was your divine homecoming and the silent night was a punishment. Absurd, right? Yet that's what we do when we dismiss the profound somatic wisdom of relief during separation. We call it running, avoiding the lesson, fear of union. We pathologize our own deepest knowing. Remember Rilke? Perhaps all the dragons in our lives are princesses who are only waiting to see us act just once with beauty and courage. Perhaps everything that frightens us is, in its deepest essence, something helpless that wants our love. Beautiful. But what if the dragon you're facing isn't the fear of union itself, but the terrifying courage it takes to admit that this specific connection diminishes you? What if the helpless thing wanting your love is actually your own neglected spirit, begging you to stop pouring your life force into a bond that leaves you feeling fundamentally less than when you're together? The relief test isn't about running from dragons. It's about finally recognizing which dragon is yours to love, the one guarding your own inner treasure, not the one guarding the door to someone else's stagnation. So be gentle with that feeling of peace when they're gone. Don't rush to spiritualize it away as avoidance or slap a label of fearful runner onto yourself. Honor the biological truth. Your nervous system is the ultimate lie detector for your soul's well-being. If absence consistently feels like coming home to yourself, lighter, clearer, more creatively alive, more present, then the connection itself was likely a distortion field, not a divine mirror. It was static on your line, not a sacred signal. That comfort in your comfort zone the Quora user mentioned, it's not laziness, sweet soul. It's sanctuary. It's your spirit reclaiming territory that was being occupied by the exhausting labor of maintaining a connection that fundamentally did not resonate at the level of your wholeness. And here's the secret hope hidden in this revelation. Recognizing this profound relief isn't a death knell for your twin flame journey. It's a course correction. It clears the static. It tunes your instrument back to your true note. It makes space for a resonance that doesn't drain you, but charges you. A connection where separation might ache, yes, but it aches with the fierce, generative pull of two strong currents, knowing they will merge into a vaster ocean, not the stagnant sorrow of a stream lost in the mud. Your peace isn't the absence of destiny. It's the foundation upon which a true divine partnership can finally be built. Because you can't recognize a harmonious note if you've forgotten the sound of your own. That breath of relief, that's you remembering. That's you tuning in. And what becomes possible when you finally trust the profound, peaceful wisdom of your own exhale? Well, that's where the real magic of connection begins. So here you stand, beautiful soul, at the precipice of a profound kind of knowing. Not the knowing fed by desperate hope or spiritualized martyrdom, but the deep, resonant knowing that hums in the quiet spaces between your thoughts, in the ease of your breath when you're truly alone, in the unexpected spark of creativity that flares when you stop trying to decode their chaos, in the simple, unadorned peace of a morning that belongs entirely to you. You've glimpsed the mirage for what it was, a distortion field masquerading as destiny, a draining entanglement disguised as divine union. And perhaps a part of you trembles. Is this surrender? Failure? Abandoning the grand cosmic script you thought was yours? Let me tell you, with the fierce tenderness of starlight reaching across millennia, what this truly is. It is the moment your soul reclaims its own narrative. It is the radical act of pulling the pen from the hand of illusion and beginning to write your story. Not around someone else's potential, not despite their absence, but from the unshakable core of your own wholeness. For too long, you've been trying to read your fate in the shifting reflections of a turbulent pond, mistaking ripples and distortions for the face of God. But now you're learning to look up, to gaze directly at the sun within you, that constant, unwavering source of light and warmth that was always there, obscured only by your focus on the water's surface. This isn't given up on love. It's finally recognizing that the most sacred union begins and ends with the unbroken communion you have with your own undivided spirit. We spend lifetimes seeking the mirror that will show us our divinity, forgetting that the clearest reflection exists in the silent depths of our own awareness. That profound relief you felt in separation, that lightness, that wasn't an escape from love. It was the exhilarating sensation of returning to the source of love itself, you. It was your intrinsic wholeness reasserting itself, like a forest reclaiming land after a fire, vibrant and determined. The exhaustion of carrying the growth for two. That was the friction of trying to force a river to flow uphill against the natural gravity of your own soul's need for balance and reciprocity. True divine partnership doesn't demand you diminish your light to make space for another's shadow. It asks you to stand in your full radiance so clearly that only a light of equal intensity and complementary frequency can truly meet you there. Anything less isn't a twin flame. It's a flickering candle trying to borrow your sun. And here's the secret whispered on the wind through those ancient trees. The peace you've touched, that profound sense of home within yourself when the static fades, that is the fertile ground from which all authentic connection, romantic, platonic, divine, must grow. You cannot build a palace on shifting sands. You cannot recognize a harmonious note if you've forgotten the sound of your own soul's song. This clarity, this hard-won self-trust, this delicious unburdening, this isn't the end of your twin flame journey. Oh no, beautiful seeker. This is where the real magic begins, boom, because when you stand firm in your own light, unapologetically whole, vibrating at the frequency of your authentic truth, you become a beacon, not a desperate signal flare, but a steady, luminous star. And stars attract not moths to a flame, but other celestial bodies moving in the dance of a shared, expansive universe. You haven't lost the path. You've simply outgrown the map that led you in circles. The compass you hold now points unerringly inward to that unshakable inner sun. Trust its guidance. Nurture its warmth. For the greatest love story you'll ever write isn't about finding your missing half. It's about embodying your complete, radiant self so fully that you naturally magnetize reflections of that wholeness in every facet of your life. And who knows what breathtaking constellations await when you finally dare to shine, unafraid and untethered from illusions, from that sacred ground of your own sovereign being. The universe has been waiting for this version of you to arrive. Now, let's discover what happens next.